Hello and welcome to the Revenge of the Drive-In commentary track for Scream. Sure, and obviously there's a little Psycho homage because Drew Barrymore, the big star, we're going to kill her off in the opening scene. I mean, Janet Leigh lasted longer than that. Wes Craven in particular seems to be kind of obsessed with that Psycho thing because I think that's kind of what he attempted to do in A Nightmare on Elm Street with Tina. Because that movie really opens with, like, it kind of looks like Tina's going to be the main character. Mm-hmm. I don't think that one really works. And I'm not sure if this one works, but it probably would have worked at the time if in the mid-90s when this movie's coming out, Drew Barrymore's all over the promotional material, the poster and everything. It probably would have been more of a surprise than it is for us now.
Well, I forgot who was in this movie, like who starred in this movie. And this movie's like a giant early 2000s, late 90s cast.
This is one of the most 90s casts ever. Yeah, it really is. And I love it for that. All of the actors, all of the main actors were significant in one way or another. And some of them were at least somewhat established before this. I'm sure some of them weren't. But they all went on to be like, even just for a year or two, significant in one way. I mean, like Jamie Kennedy, it's all, once we hit Son of Mask, there's nowhere to go but down. But, but he was relevant for a few years. He was like the lead in like some comedy movies. And then Neve Campbell, it's largely just the Scream movies, but she had some other ones like The Craft. This movie it's almost an anomaly at this point in slasher movies because it doesn't have nudity.
Yes, yeah.
It has implied nudity. It has like a sex scene, but it doesn't have nudity. And like every slasher movie ever in the 80s pretty much had nudity, with the exception, ironically, of Friday the 13th Part 6. That's like the only Friday the 13th movie without any for whatever reason. I think I heard the director say he like just forgot to include it, and then he's like, "Oh, maybe we can do something now," but it would involve like an adjustment of the actress's contract, and it's like, okay, yeah, I guess we just can't do it. So we'll do it next time. But yeah, very rare for slasher movies, at least in the past. Not uncommon for slasher movies moving forward. Did Urban Legend have nudity? Do you remember? I don't think it did.
I don't remember.
Final Destination? No. Some of the Final Destination movies, not that first one, though.
The second one definitely starts out with a woman flashing her tits, right?
Maybe. Was that? The second one's with the giant car accident, right? Yeah, maybe. Yeah. And the third one has naked women dying while sun tanning in one of those tanning beds. So yeah, this third one definitely knows what it's doing. But yeah, I feel like the Scream imitators, maybe it was because the actors were kind of bigger. It wasn't like in the 80s when they made those slasher movies, it was like mostly unknown. But they tried to keep it a little classier, less nudity. For whatever reason. And that's part of the reason why I like the 80s ones more. They're just sleazier and in many cases dumber. But in most cases, I would say more entertaining. This scene is hilarious in today when the cell phone falls out of his pocket, and that makes him suspicious that, oh my God, what the hell is he doing with the cell phone? That will always be funny to me. It's like, oh my God, there's like a dramatic music sting, and she's like, oh no.
Yeah,
he has a cell phone.
Yeah. Oh my God.
What kind of devilry is this?